Hey, so in today's video we are breaking down the Nissan Concept 2020 car. Now, of course, this is an interesting car. Just like any concept car, it's kind of interesting to break down, see kind of what these manufacturers have in their minds. So, of course, this is what looks to be a right-hand drive car, as we can see in this clip. And, of course, this is a very fast car. Something that you should really keep an eye on with this car is when you slam on the brakes, the rear end tends to want to come out. Now, I haven't done any, and it also drifts really well as well. I haven't done any modifications on this car. This is totally bone stock. I haven't changed anything when it comes to how the car can handle, the speed, the horsepower, anything. I did not change anything. As we can see, it's rear end happy. It really does want to drift. It has a lot of oversteer, especially if you are hammering it around the corners. Now, as of right now, this car hasn't had too many different changes when it comes to the game itself. The manufacturers, Polyphony Digital, haven't really done any updates on how this car can handle. And of course, as you can see, once you get used to the fact that this car is drifting around corners like crazy, you can start figuring out how to handle it. Stuff like going around a corner and slightly feathering the gas so that you don't do this will allow you to have, well, a better race, of course. But what I do find, like, this is not even a drift build that I have on this car. This is literally just a race stock build. So what we're going to do later on is test out the actual drift build, if there is even a drift build that you can do for this. This seems to be a very, very high horsepower car, and I would assume that you would have a lot better chances of not totally smashing up. Of course, if you had possibly softer tires on here and possibly more traction control, because I have that off. But this car tends to really want to slide the rear end out. So this car, if you're not racing online for a serious match, could be a lot of fun to drive, but it's also very frustrating to drive as well, as long as you don't upgrade or change any of the specifications or the specs of the car, suspension wise and all that. I would definitely look online if you wanted to drive this car to look for different builds. See which build can work best for you. Acceleration for its class, as the type of car it is, I would definitely give it a 9.5. The only one being better would be the Dodge Vision car. When it comes to the ability to turn, I would give it, in its class, I would give it a 6. Overall, because of its fun, I would give it an 8. But if you were looking to drive it seriously, I would definitely be looking for a tune that would be able to help you handle the car better, or at least help me handle the car better, because this car just does not like to go straight. And then from there, I always look at the ability for it to brake, and it does have a good ability to brake, but when you start smashing on the brakes, you lose the rear end once again. So this car is not the easiest car to drive when it comes to track performance. But once we start getting over to the drift, we're going to see how well it does. So when we go into the drift, it's not that bad. You don't need to pull an e-brake. You just have to just do the steering thing where you steer one direction and back, get the weight transfer, and you can really start drifting quite well. And of course, when you lose really bad. But I didn't do too bad here. I ended up getting a lot of drift points in this match, and that was a pretty good drift in my opinion. I got 3,900 right now. Let's see if I can do a bit better in my next round. So here I can try to do the weight transfer, and I got around that corner quite well. I got 1,750. In my opinion, that's good. In the game, it's not the best, but for me, that's good. I'm not a great drifter. We're going to do the weight transfer once again, and we rode up on the grass, so we lost those points, got 63 as a consolation prize. Now we're going to go over around this corner. I tend to be really good going towards my left, and I didn't do all that bad. I ended up with 3,000, I think, and yeah. Anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video.